Welcome to Eyes on EB, Voices of EB, where community and conversation meet on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in our beautiful pond setting of East Brunswick Public Library and the Municipal Complex. I have the pleasure of speaking with Snigdha and Riya from the Femme Voice, two amazing and intuitive East Brunswick High School seniors. So why don't you introduce yourselves and give us a little background on where the Femme Voice started?
Hi, my name is Snigdha. Hi, my name is Riya. And the Femme Voice started as almost a pet project back in 2022 for us, but we've grown since then, and our aim is to empower young women through education and health.
Wow.
And how we've done that is by hosting local fundraisers, hosting free boot camps so that anyone, regardless of their income level, education level, can access and be more educated and be offered menstrual products and have the same access as everyone else does in our community.
Equity, right?
Equity.
It's all about, I love equity. That's like one of my things. It's an important thing as an educator, as a community member, to make sure that everybody has equity. So thank you. Yeah. What made you start this? Like, did something steamroll you? Was there a precipitating factor that happened that said, okay, we need to get on this?
So honestly, for me, it's just that so many women in my family have not had access to education, and it may not always be like economics, but they just haven't had access to it as just because of their gender. And that's something that really led me to think about how many other people struggle with this, how many other women don't have access to education, specifically STEM, because women are a minority. And so STEM is just science, technology, engineering, and math. And why it's so important is because it's a revolutionary field. In today's day and age, I think that science, technology, these fields are so revolutionary. They're growing, and they're really important for just everybody to learn and be a part of. They're the future, in my opinion, at least. And I think that that's the reason I believe that more women should be involved in these STEM fields and subjects, because women are really overlooked in science and technology and math. And I think that empowering young girls to join these revolutionary growing fields is really, really important to me and close to my heart.
And what made you join?
So it's actually kind of crazy. So growing up, I've watched a lot of Indian movies and honestly a lot of movies in general. And I've noticed that in these underprivileged countries, there's been a lot of blockade to access to education, menstrual hygiene. And one example is there's a movie with a story about this young girl. She couldn't go to school because her parents' excuse was that they didn't have a ride. There wasn't enough bikes. And so because of that, what we did was we raised money for 10 plus bikes, about 15 to 16 actually, to girls in India so they can be transported to go to school. And that was one of the motivating factors. And honestly, yeah, it turned out great. There were flyers about the young girls lying down.
Oh my good. The two of you and the Femme Voice did that? So there are 10 bikes in India right now.
15.
15?
Yes.
Yeah.
That girls are able to use to go to school because of the two of you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I'm blown away. I'm blown away. And is STEM something that you guys are into yourselves, which is why?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned something when we were just getting to know each other a little bit about 𝐅𝐸𝐶𝑋 and the classes that are given online. So can you explain to everybody what that is and why that's relevant to the Femme Voice?
Yeah, definitely. So I think back in my freshman year, I was exploring my interests. I was like, okay, let's start with engineering. And they were hosting free mechanical engineering classes at the library itself, where we are right now.
Okay.
And I was taking them and I was really interested in them. But then the free trial canceled, and then, it got more expensive and more expensive. And I was like, this is not affordable. I can't believe I have to pay so much just to indulge in my interests. And so I was thinking, that honestly led to the creation of the Femme Voice. It was a part of it. And so I was like, okay, if I can't, pursue my interests, I hope that other young girls can for free. So then we asked him, would you like to partner? We can offer you customers, and in exchange, you could use our kits and your facility. And so that's how it came to be. And so many young girls showed up. It was a whole week-long process.
A week long. Where was the conference?
It was in the 𝐅𝐸𝐶𝑋 building. I don't know the exact address.
Okay.
But it was located in East Brunswick.
In East Brunswick.
High school.
Wow. So you hosted your own STEM workshops through his, I guess, platform, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you were able to offer it free.
Yes.
Whereas they must charge to keep their overhead and to sustain their business. Yeah. And you had mentioned that you created a curriculum to go along with that. So can you explain to me, to the viewers, how two high school students created a curriculum from start to finish and implemented it for a week-long workshop? Like that's...
After we identified this need that the community has, that we felt we should give back, we decided that, you know, it's kind of hard as high schoolers ourselves who are still learning to create the curriculum. So we worked with teachers. My mom is a teacher and my dad's an engineer. So I used their help. And then we also used the Strix, like the owner. He is also currently a business student at Babson College. So we used him to kind of help us create like these slides and these materials that we can teach these kids. And that really helped us create a strong curriculum and give us confidence that, you know, what we're teaching them has been approved by educators and actual people in the workforce.
And it gives you credibility, right? So it's not just, you know, you're not flying by the seat of your pants. There's legitimately an educational foundation to what you're offering these young women. What kind of obstacles do you feel as though were the hardest for you to get off the ground?
I think it was really just getting people on board, because the first thing that people, like, you know, they hear that two high school students are running this and they automatically think that, oh, it's going to be a waste of time.
Interesting.
And I think people don't really take the time to really learn that our curriculum is coming from actual educators.
Okay.
Which is fair. I get it. So that was really the hardest part, was getting people on board to attend these workshops.
Okay.
But after that, it was smooth sailing from there.
And honestly, I feel like we started as advocating for equality and like women's rights. And I feel like people didn't think that they could make as much of a big difference, you know, especially with like law enforcement and all these rules. So they were like, what is the point? But then we shifted our gears to advocating for STEM education, posting workshops, menstrual products. So then people were like, okay, I see a viewpoint. And then they started to join our foundation. So yeah, that was a major shift.
How do you think as high school students, this kind of experience is going to help you in your future? I mean, already I feel as though you guys have so much under your belts that where do you go from here? What is your 5-year plan for the Femme Voice?
So honestly, from here, as we go off to college, I don't want to just, you know, let this initiative die. Like a lot of times that does happen. But my goal is to continue to grow it. So regardless of where we go to school, we want to start new chapters over the country. I know that currently we have 2 chapters in Virginia and New York. Though they're run by 2 of my family friends.
Wow. So you guys are beyond just East Brunswick.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I've been in talking with like my family friends from India as well. And they're like, yeah, we'd definitely be interested with just a bit more information, right? And especially because it's a whole new different country.
Right.
So yeah, we're in talks with many different places for sure right now.
Tell me a little bit about, you keep going back to menstrual products and the lack of availability for economically disadvantaged young women. So what kinds of things have you done to offset that problem for these women that you've found?
So what we've done is we've hosted many local fundraisers. We have an upcoming one with Chipotle actually to talk about our upcoming fundraisers. So come support us at the East Brunswick Chipotle place.
And what do you know when that's gonna be?
So it was actually supposed to be this Wednesday.
Okay.
We realized that we have off this Wednesday for
Right.
a Jewish holiday, and we want to be accommodating to everybody who'd want to come.
Very
so
nice.
Currently in the talks with Chipotle to hopefully let us move it to maybe next week.
Okay.
Probably Wednesday as well. So keep a lookout for
Our
that.
Instagram, it's at the Femme Voice.
You heard that. Femme Voice, Chipotle, partnering up. You guys, this is a great opportunity to support this amazing initiative and to bring your girls, if you have young youth that want to experience unbelievable nonprofit generosity, please bring them to Chipotle. What are you studying in college? Like, is it STEM? Are you leaning towards STEM? Is this something that you're carrying out?
Yeah, I really want to be a surgeon when I'm older. So hopefully I could see myself, you know, studying neuroscience and maybe computer science, you know, the intersection of that. That's like my passion at the moment.
What about you?
And so for me, I really want to go into business. And so back to growing this nonprofit even after college, I'm hoping to use my business contacts to help hopefully raise more money, partner with major companies, maybe like Google, maybe like Microsoft, to help raise so many more products and host so many more STEM workshops. So that's what I want to do.
What is your next step for the STEM workshops? Are there any that you are planning? Are there any that are coming up in the near future that the community can look out for?
I'm so glad you bring that up. So currently we've been in the talks with the Women in Engineering Society. So one of my friend's parents is the director of that nonprofit. So what we really want to do is that we really want to host these STEM workshops at Princeton, but specifically for like Girl Scouts and the youth there. So we're hoping to be able to, use the facilities at Princeton to be able to
That's okay.
To be able to teach the youth.
Okay. And has the community been receptive to that? Do you feel as though you're getting the support that you need from the community to access certain spaces and resources?
I think we do. Like, Strix they took us on when we really didn't have much of a following, and they, gave us a chance. And that just kind of had like the domino effect, because now we're in talks with like the Women in Engineering Society, which they're a really huge nonprofit. We're so grateful that they believe in us and they want to partner with us. And we also did host a STEM workshop in India for underprivileged kids. Rural society.
Wow.
So, that was actually harder than I would say trying to do it here.
Online? Did you do it online? Was it
in person?
Oh.
There to like teach these kids. And it was such a great experience, but it was really difficult, I do want to say.
You flew there to give a workshop. What was difficult about it? That's fascinating.
So the difficult part was really getting people on board because, like I said before, people are really skeptical when they see high school students wanting to teach, younger kids.
Do you find that they're more skeptical in India than they are in America?
I would say to an extent, yes.
Interesting.
But also because we were trying to teach underprivileged kids. So there was a lot more that went on behind the scenes there.
Okay.
For example, the language barrier. I don't really speak the language that I was trying, like the demographic that I was trying to teach.
Okay.
So we did have to like get a translator, and that was a lot of work. And,
yes.
a lot of funds had to go into that. Second, like I did have to fly there. So, funds again. I think that's probably the biggest barrier is like funds and language.
So monetary support to help offset the costs of some of your programs.
And going back to monetary support, we want to go beyond like just STEM and like menstrual hygiene, So what we're doing is we're hosting actually financial literacy like boot camps like this weekend at the library itself, because we don't like obviously STEM careers, like we're pushing that like, yes, women should go into STEM careers, but how can they financially, sustain themselves? What like 401ks, investing early on. I feel like that as like first generation immigrants, I feel like as that our parents were the ones who taught us, but I feel like a lot of the kids that are being raised here, they don't know that. They haven't had the enough education or support.
Their parents, their support system doesn't have the know to share with them.
Yeah.
How do you measure the impact of the Femme Voice?
We like to measure mostly through quantifying impact. So like we said, like the 15 bites that we've done, we also have to think about the amount of kids that we've hosted at these workshops. And I think our number is at about 60, you'd say right now?
Wow.
60. Across the two workshops, they're about at 60.
Do you have repeaters? Do you have kids that come to like more than one workshop session?
For sure, yeah. All the kids that we host in East Brunswick tend to come to all of our workshops and, support us across all of the events that we do. The kids in India, obviously, they aren't able to, but when we did do that, it was like a 2-week thing in India, and they were there for the entirety of 2 weeks. We had great turnout. We had a lot of positive support from the parents, a lot of positive feedback, and we also like to measure through the amount of money that we raise.
Okay.
So I'd say our numbers are about 4,500 right now.
Okay.
The amount of funds that we've raised.
Wow, good for you. And is it only open to the Indian community, or is it open to everybody?
I was just about to
because I think just hearing you, I'm imagining it's open to just about anybody that.
Yeah, definitely. I know, like we've been saying India is so
because that's who you have the most connections with. Just
yes,
because,
kind of.
right?
But we were in talks about like expanding internationally, and I feel like that we can achieve like, when we go to college and we see our majors, we'll have so many more resources studying abroad. We definitely want to, like that is our main goal. Just right now, because we are from, the US, from East Brunswick, we're trying to help our local community as much as possible right now.
That's amazing.
Our focus is really just to, empower the citizens of East Brunswick and uplift our own community before we expand abroad. I think that the workshops that we had at 𝐼𝐍𝐶𝐋𝐋 were very diverse. We had a great turnout from a bunch of different demographics.
Amazing.
They weren't strictly for girls either. Like, I know that was our main target.
Right.
But we wanted to keep them open to whoever's interested in STEM, whoever, anybody who's interested in learning, you're welcome to come. And
Let me ask you a question from an educator's perspective. How were the kids when you were teaching them? I'm curious, like, were they chat? Like, how was it to be a teacher?
So, like, yeah, they were really chatty, but honestly, the main thing about how we did it is we engaged in so many gigs, like the marshmallow spaghetti challenge, that word, card building challenges. So they were really well engaged, and I feel like as a generation, like, seeing, like, students, we know, like, their attention spans aren't gonna be, like, completely focused. So we incorporated lessons, games, building
Use differentiated instruction in the delivery of the material you were presenting to the students.
absolutely.
How ingenious of you. Amazing. And as soon as they got the marshmallows with the toothpicks or whatever activity you were working on with them, they were all in, right?
Absolutely. I think it's just as soon as they see that there's a reward to the activity they're doing, they're all ears. And the kids were really great because, you know, they signed up for this
Right.
during their summer break. And I honestly saw the turnout way better than I expected because, like, it's summer break, you know. Most kids don't really want to be out in the summer in an air-conditioned room learning.
Right.
But a lot of them were really, like, appreciative to us, that they were really excited. And we did have, like, a little fundraiser for them too at the end, where we were, like, selling cute, like, stationery for them. All affordable, of course, but they all were really receptive to that and, you know, really engaged and ready to learn.
That's fantastic. You're filling a need. You're reaching a generation who is thirsting for STEM knowledge, honestly, and in a world where that's really a future. I mean, that's everything is incorporated, STEM, STEAM. I like to say stream for reading as well. It's all over our world. So I commend you both. Do you know where you're headed for college yet? Do you have any idea where you guys are? Do you have a first choice? Do you not want to talk about it? Because I know how that can be sometimes. We don't have to. Are you going to open chapters in your respective colleges?
Oh, absolutely. I've come to love this nonprofit and learn through it. And it's something that I want to pursue, like, throughout college. I want to continue to do this because I believe it is a great cause. And I believe that we are making a difference. So honestly, the more that I can do, the more I will do.
And have you looked into what the process is for starting clubs within colleges? Like,
Our goal is obviously to start as many clubs, as many chapters as we can. It's just like in college, we're going to have to work 3 times as hard because we're not only working with like 1,000 students, we're working with like tens of thousands of students, and we have to advocate, we have to reach out. There's a lot of work, but we're both willing to put in that work.
But you may be able to find people who can join you in more of the organizational aspect of it, so it doesn't fall on the two of you as much. Right now, it's the two of you, it seems as though, are doing everything, right?
I would definitely say that, like, we try to, like, spearhead most of the
It is because it's your baby and you want it to be run the way that you want it, or are you willing to have other people jump on board as far as the organization part of it?
We're close to so many application processes, but I feel like no one is able to match our passion and as much as we have. So I feel like
I can relate to that.
We need to continuously put effort into raising money, events, and I feel like there's no blame to anyone else. You just feel like, this is our baby.
It is your baby. Yeah. I know.
It's something that we're so passionate about. I'm grateful that we found each other. And,
were you friends before?
We were, yeah. We met in freshman year biology class.
Okay.
And that's really when we started talking about all of these things and that were so important to us. And it was really refreshing to see someone else with the same mindset as me and, the same, drive to be able to, help the future, help, all girls and, all youth, and really, someone who cares so much about education.
Have you looked into grants?
We have, yeah.
Because you are a nonprofit, you're a legitimate nonprofit. So I would imagine that there have to be some grants that could be
we recently
accessible to you.
We applied for Mayor Cohen's community grant. That's a really great starter grant for us.
Awesome. Is that in the process of being decided right now? Is that what?
I think so.
Okay.
I applied a few weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. So then it's not finished. Probably still in the
works. Yeah.
In the decision process. That's great. Are there other Is there other ways that the community can help you? That's what I'm looking for. Like, is there other ways that the community how can they find you? How can community members who would like to help you? Is there an Amazon wish list? Do you have resources that we can help you get out to the community?
We applied to some magazines, some big magazines, small magazines, and we're hoping to get published, or not even published, like just mentioned a little bit so that can be posted on some social medias, because as we know, like as students, like it's kind of hard to grow our social media following as much as those magazines are. So yeah, we're hoping to like hear back from them as soon as possible, and hopefully because of that, more people will get to know what the Femme Voice is and 𝐕𝐴𝐺𝐻.
So immediately in the next 3 months, let's do short-term goal. What is the Femme Voice's short-term goal in the next 3 months?
Hopefully, we're aiming to raise another $3,000 to $4,000.
Okay.
And we've had like good reception by the community in terms of that. We've had people reach out to us via Instagram. I think that's the best way to reach out.
So so through your Instagram, the Femme Voice, no like dots in between it or anything like that. Okay, the Femme Voice.
I think that's the best way to reach out to us for donations. We've had people do that in the past, and it's super grateful. That's amazing.
Okay.
We've hosted donation boxes at like school chains in the local community. So Primrose Schools, we'd hosted like a donation box.
And that's a daycare. That's an early learning center, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got so many school supplies that we're really gonna like share with the community. We want to give them to homeless shelters specifically for all the children there. We got so many menstrual products from people, and just so grateful for all the support that we've been getting. So we want to continue to host like donation boxes for school supplies, menstrual products. And we want to do like more fundraisers, like I said, to be able to reach our monetary goal.
Is like Chipotle, that's like a dine to donate? Is that's what the town businesses in town are very, very, really great at dying to donate.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah, I do know we have fantastic businesses who really like to help out, and your cause is just phenomenal. And I can't wait to help you out in whatever way we can to get your word out. Is there anything else, any other final messages you want to leave our viewers?
If you see a need in your community, do your best to fulfill it.
Yeah. And honestly, just follow the Femme Voice, try to reach out to as many people as possible. It might not apply to you, but if you know anyone else in need, just keep in mind that somewhere out there in the world, there is someone that's living a complete opposite life. And what we're trying to do and what we strive to do is help those other people like you. So yeah, thank you.
And tell me really quickly one more time what it feels like to do really big.
It's amazing. I just want to say, like, helping these people and listening to their stories and, the feedback that we get from parents, it's so heartwarming. I never thought that I would be able to help people like this. And I never thought that, people would really be so grateful to our help. It feels amazing to be able to give back. And, as a privileged person, I just want to be able to make sure that everybody can have access to that privilege, to that education, to that support. And that's what I'm here for. Just hopefully to become a pillar of the community. Change big books like that, yeah.
Definitely. Like, I've seen so many Instagram threads, captions, posts, but as a person, I feel like it's so good to take action upon that. There's so much awareness going on, but actually raising money for those people in need, it feels like we're actually making a difference maybe here. So, yeah.
I want to thank you both so much as a lifelong community member of East Brunswick for recognizing a real need in our community and jumping on board to fix it, because very often we find that it's easier to identify the need and just say somebody else will take care of it eventually. But it takes a lot of guts and a lot of courage and persistence and tenacity to actually make a change. And it's people like you who start a ripple effect. So thank you for reaching out to us. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share your message. And I hope that there's no limit to what you guys can do, because you're doing these. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you.